Yo, what is up guys, DC here. Welcome to another video. We are out here at Coleman Power Sports in Woodbridge, Virginia. As always, their information will be linked down below because they've been awesome. Honestly, hit up my man James and Keith here and you will have an amazing experience. As always, this video is brought to you by Rollick. Rollick is a company connecting consumers like you and me to a network of certified dealers like Coleman Power Sports to provide the most transparent buying experience for RVs, ATVs, side-by-sides, and of course, motorcycles. And today, we are completing the trifecta of MT with the Yamaha MT-10. Let's go have some fun. She's good and warm, kids, so don't you worry your pretty little faces. Wow, am I about to buy an MT-10? The answer is yes, I think. This is the 2019 Yamaha MT-10. So you guys have seen my last two videos, or, well, holy butterballs, this thing has so much torque. No wonder MT stands for Master of Torque, or at least it does now. Oh, and there's the mirror having a little issue. Oh my gosh. This is so much more refined than any of the bikes I've taken out recently. That might come back. That's gonna come back and haunt us. Holy cow, this has so much power. Alright guys, so the 2019 Yamaha MT-10, this is a very exciting motorcycle from Yamaha. It's obviously their class leader in the hyper naked category, and to be completely honest, I think that the Yamaha MT-10 is the only Japanese super sport bike, or super naked bike rather, that is competing against the big league ones. And when I say big league, I mean the BMW S1000R, the Aprilia Tuonos, the KTM Super Dukes, the premium manufacturers of the world. Jiminy Christmas. Mary and Joseph. Such a good bike. I think, like, having ridden the MT-07, the MT-09, and now the MT-10, I can tell you one thing definitively. Yamaha is holding back in a huge way on the MT-07. Now, obviously they are. We're talking $7,600, so it's relatively inexpensive. You know, it's their mid-weight but lower-end bike, and that makes sense. In the MT-09, they're still holding back so much. And I think that's the thing that you forget, is that there is this MT-10 that is just sitting there, and it's so good, and it has everything you would want. It's got 3 rider modes, 1, 2, and 3 for this year instead of A, standard, and B mode. It's got 3 traction control settings, and all of that gives you the adjustability that you need to make this bike work for you. Of course, you can see the temperature here, the speedometer, digital tachometer, fuel gauge on the right, gear indicator on the left. It's got all the lights and gizmos and doodads you would want. I can adjust the traction control here. I believe, and I'm correct, this bike has cruise control. One of my favorite features on any and all motorcycles in the entire world. I love cruise control. This must be Joplin, right? It's Joplin. We did it, guys. Joplin is 619. Remember that. All right. So this gives us a really good opportunity to talk about how this motorcycle feels. It is so dialed in, it's not even funny. I didn't think this would be hugely different from the MT-09, which I absolutely adored. I didn't think I'd like the MT-09. I've heard a lot of bad things about the throttle response and the fueling, but I really enjoyed that bike. But this motorcycle is so much better in every stinking way. I don't know how to explain it. The throttle response is so connected, and you know, everything's the YCCT, which is Yamaha's electronic throttle response. Wow, those brakes are nice. Throttle comes on pretty abruptly though, you gotta watch out for that. This is a serious motorcycle for serious motorcycling. This is, like, honestly, I think the coolest bike I've ridden in 2019, which is saying something because I genuinely didn't know if I would enjoy this. I didn't know if I'd like it. I didn't really understand the hype behind it, but I mean, this is fantastic. All right, we'll go slow for a second. We'll just chat about things. So one thing that stands out to me on the spec sheet here is that This produces 153 horsepower. That's a huge number. And it comes in at $13,000. That's not really an expensive motorcycle when you think about the Supernaked bikes that are coming out of Europe these days in Italy that are costing, oh, I don't know, $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, $18,000. You just want to do that at every chance you get, and it's impractical, but it's amazing in every single way. It's so good. This is like inherent goodness, the MT-10. So we've got Kyb suspension in the front and rear, fully adjustable on both, 4.7 inches of travel. This bike weighs 463 pounds wet, which isn't too bad at all. I mean, stays under that 500-pound range, thank God. The mid-400s is about where we see all the other hyper naked leader bikes out there. And like I said, Yamaha is really the only Japanese manufacturer that is out here fighting for this class. What's Honda doing? What's Gixxer doing? What's Kawasaki doing? Like, yeah, they're like kind of, you know, the Ninja 1000 and the Gixxis 1000, and then I don't even know what Honda's got right now. But this is a true competitor to those big boy bikes, and I absolutely love it. It's got a 4.5 gallon gas tank, it gets 30 miles per gallon, so for that increased power you do get worse fuel economy than the MT-07 or MT-09 do. Those bikes are actually very economical. And like I said, this bike starting at $13,000. If you are not from the Woodbridge area and cannot go to Coleman Power Sports and buy one, which I would highly suggest you doing, then please go to GoRollick.com and look for one in your local area. Quick shifter is very quick, very direct. One of the better ones I've ever used. I don't want to get right up on this guy's ass, there's no point in that. So real quick, I don't know if you guys can see down here on the display, some pretty interesting information. It's a LCD display, so nothing crazy fancy like a TFT. So there's certain things that you're not going to get on this motorcycle that you'll see on the Yamaha R1 and R1M, and that's because that is genuinely their class leading bike. So it doesn't really make sense for Yamaha to put everything on the MT-10, although they've done a very good job of putting everything you would want on the MT-10. And what I mean by that is, in this day and age where motorcycles are so technologically advanced and driven by all these different, you know, gizmos and gadgets and the ability to change your settings on the fly and have like 85 different traction control settings and ABS settings, etc., it's kind of taking away from the experience of riding a motorcycle. I ride a motorcycle for the solidarity. I ride a motorcycle to go out and kind of feel this serene connection with the road and the outdoors and power. I really wanted to jump that. The 12-year-old in me did. So yeah, the Yamaha MT-10 is a really beautiful example of a motorcycle that is built for motorcycling. This is not a technological marvel. This isn't a garage queen. This isn't something you're just going to stare at and not want to take out every day. This is a bike that you can daily ride to work. You can like crush it on the twisties. I mean, they're better. Every rider is a better rider than I am, and I can only imagine in the hands of those riders what they would be able to do, considering what I can do. Like, the throttle response is so responsive, it's so direct and connected. I absolutely adore it. How have I never been on Joplin Road? That's the Duke of DC using all of his in-body control to not have an aneurysm because he's not going 100 miles an hour. This thing is crazy. Like, genuinely, this is pretty insane. Quick little second. Change the battery. Very smooth motorcycle too. The fueling is aggressive, sure. I'm in 2 mode. I assume that if I went down to 3, which I don't really care to do, it would be a lot smoother, and that's because that's kind of the safest mode, where you have the least throttle response. And that gives you an option to ride this bike kind of wet conditions. One thing I definitely need to mention is the top speed. So this bike produces 153 horsepower, and kind of funny enough, it has a top speed of 152 miles per hour as I just go side to side in the lanes here like a crazy person. Oh, bless you, sir. Thank you. Oh, the rear wheel came up a little bit there. So if you wanted to, you're heading back from the twisty roads over to the highway, you click the cruise control, you hit set. Oh, you hit set. Oh, it won't do it in third gear. So, little fact that I just learned right there. Let's say you're on your way home from the twisties, you want to use cruise control, you have to be in fourth gear or higher. I just tried it in third, didn't work. No big deal though. Of course, a little tap of the clutch or brake or really anything disengages the cruise control. This is really groovy. I can really enjoy this. Alright guys, so we are on our way back to Coleman Power Sports in Woodbridge, Virginia, and I just want to wrap this video up by saying the MT-10 is a serious contender for one of my favorite motorcycles I've ever ridden. I'm going to have to rewrite that article because this thing is crunching its way up to the top. It is an amazing Supernaked bike at $13,000. I think it's a fantastic deal at 153 horsepower. I think it's just going to blow you away with the throttle. And really just a 10 out of 10 experience. I love the ride, I love the comfort, the ergos, the technology, the engine, the crossplane, the sound. It's so visceral. So a really huge shout out to Coleman Power Sports Woodbridge for letting me take this motorcycle out. And if you are looking for one and you're not from this area, please check out GoRollick.com. Subscribe to this channel if you are new, hit that like button, comment down below, and as always, I will see you on the next one. Peace! Brakes work.